Fire, dust, and tornadoes, 100 million people in the crosshairs. 3 days that could go down in history, right now. Somewhere out on a Texas panhandle highway, a truck driver just hit the brakes because the road in front of him literally vanished into a wall of dust. Gone. Just like that. And that same angry, dry, relentless wind that swallowed that highway, it's already being loaded up like a weapon, and by this afternoon, it's going to start spinning up tornadoes across Nebraska and Iowa. Fire, dust, tornadoes. 3 very different disasters. One single atmospheric engine. And it's running hot. We're talking about 100 million people in the firing line this week. Let that sink in for a second. And here's the part that genuinely stopped me cold this morning. For the very first time in recorded history, the Storm Prediction Center issued a Day 3 Sig 2 tornado risk. Never happened before, not once. When I pulled up the wind data, the fire data, and the tornado probability maps and laid them all side by side this morning, I literally sat back in my chair and just stared. I'm not being dramatic. This is the real deal. Stay with me through Monday because what's coming is not your average stormy weekend. And make sure you stick around for the historical section because one single number from the Yadiu 1999 Moore tornado is going to completely change how you think about your shelter plan tonight. Drop your city and state in the comments below. I'll be back tonight with a specific breakdown just for your area. Let's get into it. Chapter 2. Fire, dust, and tornadoes. Why the same wind is causing 3 separate disasters at once. Here's something most forecasters are glossing right over today, and I think that's a mistake. The wildfire danger, the dust storm, and the tornado threat aren't 3 separate weather stories happening at the same time by coincidence. They are the exact same story. One dry line, one relentless southwest wind. 3 different kinds of chaos depending on what's underneath it. That southwest wind is howling at 25 to 40 miles per hour right now. Out in the panhandle, it's chewing up loose, dry, tilled soil and throwing it straight up into the atmosphere. That's your dust storm. Those same low humidity, high wind, bone-dry conditions. That's also your wildfire recipe. We're talking 13% humidity with 40 mph gusts. Good Lord. A wildfire in those conditions can travel a full mile in just a few minutes. Not hours, minutes. Flat out dangerous doesn't even begin to cover it. But wait, it gets more complicated and more dangerous. When a nearby thunderstorm fires off, it sends out what's called an outflow. Basically, a blast of fast-moving air shooting out from the storm's base. Those outflow winds can hit 60 to 80 mph. Now picture a wildfire that's been burning north. That outflow wind slams into it and redirects it east instantly. Firefighters who had established a safe zone suddenly don't have one anymore. Their safety buffer disappears in seconds. This is not hypothetical. This happens. And then there's dry lightning. Storms that shoot lightning bolts down onto bone-dry grass without dropping a single drop of rain to go with it. That's how new wildfires spark up out of nowhere in the Texas panhandle today. No warning, no rain smell in the air. Just a strike, and suddenly something's burning. Bless tonight's bowing storm clusters will push out more of those outflow surges, and those can reignite fires that crews thought they had under control. So the fire threat doesn't end when the sun goes down. Here's the bottom line on fire and dust. This is not a coincidence. These are not separate events. It's the same dry line doing different kinds of damage across different terrain. One atmospheric setup, multiple disasters. Think about someone like Dale, a farmer outside Grand Island. Right now, Dale is staring down a fire risk today and a tornado threat tonight. No break in between. Before 3 p.m. today, Dale needs his equipment covered, any field burns completely extinguished, and his shelter plan locked in. That's what one dry line can demand from one person in one afternoon. That's a lot. That's real life during a week like this one. Drop your city and state in the comments. I'll give you a personalized breakdown tonight. And if this kind of deep dive weather content helps you, please hit that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps more people find this before they need it. Today's severe weather, already active. Window is short. Let's talk about what's happening right now. Because today is already in motion and the window to prepare is shrinking fast. The SPC has issued a moderate risk, level 4 out of 5 for central Nebraska and Kansas. Moderate risk means significant severe weather isn't just possible, it's expected. This is the second highest level on the scale, one step below extreme. Take that seriously. Surrounding that is an enhanced risk zone, and beyond that, a wide slight risk that swallows up most of Iowa. And honestly, I think the Iowa risk is still growing. An upgrade this afternoon wouldn't surprise me one bit. I kid you not. The enhanced risk zone today covers nearly 31,000 square miles with over 244,000 people sitting in the highest threat area. Kearney, North Platte, and Lexington, Nebraska. All three of you are in the orange zone today. Heads up, and the marginal risk. That thing stretches all the way from Utah and Texas to West Virginia. Enormous coverage. This is a wide-reaching event. The atmospheric data is screaming. ML SAPE across Iowa is running very high. The K-index, a measure of thunderstorm potential, is sitting at 40 to 46 across central and southern Iowa. When K-index climbs above 45, the atmosphere is essentially primed, loaded, and ready to fire off heavy rain and intense thunderstorms. Good grief! Today's biggest individual threat is damaging winds. Some storms could push winds past 80 mph southwest of Kearney and into extreme northwestern Kansas. That's where 80 mph winds could punch through this evening. Even as far east as Omaha, damaging winds could exceed 75 mph later today. Baseball to teacup-sized hail is on the table too, with very large hail possible in Iowa. Tornado probability sits at 5% in Nebraska, Colorado, and Kansas, and 2% across Iowa. Storm initiation is expected around 4 to 5 p.m. near Denver and near Des Moines. By 6 to 7 p.m., multiple supercells will be firing up over central and southern Iowa. The greatest Iowa tornado threat runs from 5 to 9 p.m. tonight. Any supercell that stays organized and discrete near the I-70 corridor north of Garden City carries a real tornado risk tonight. By 7 p.m., the highest tornado threat of the day sits just southwest of Kearney. Keep those alerts cranked all the way up through 10 p.m. southern Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. You've got a significant damaging wind threat active between 3 and 9 p.m. today, with isolated tornadoes possible embedded in those thunderstorms. The Texas Panhandle, Northwest Texas, and Western Oklahoma also carry a conditional severe risk today. Tennis ball hail and 80 mph winds possible along that corridor, plus dry lightning sparking new wildfires. By 10 to 11 p.m. tonight, 3 separate storm clusters will be running simultaneously, one weakening over Kentucky, one very strong cluster over Iowa, one intense line pushing through Nebraska and northern Kansas. No joke. Low tornado risk continues through midnight, then mainly damaging winds and heavy rain take over. Iowa flooding is a real concern tonight. Multiple rounds of heavy rain from those storm clusters could keep things active well past midnight. This is going to be a long, active, exhausting night. And it's just day 1. Chapter 3. Road closures by day. Which corridors become dangerous and when tonight, US 30 and US 275 across central Iowa will be the first to turn dangerous. I-80 between Omaha and Des Moines is the highest risk interstate tonight. Damaging winds and hail possible. US 30 through Grand Island and Columbus. Nebraska runs directly through tonight's wind damage path. If you are on I-80 in Iowa tonight between 7 p.m. and midnight, pull off before the storms arrive. Don't gamble on it. US 20 and US 281 north of Kearney. Those wide-open plains highways become genuinely terrifying in 80 mph gusts. There is nowhere to go. On Sunday, the single most dangerous highway for tornado risk is US 81 from Grand Island to Sioux City. I-29 from Sioux City to Sioux Falls runs right through Sunday's enhanced risk corridor. South Dakota Highway 44 and Nebraska Highway 12 both run east-west directly through Sunday's tornado zone. Do not attempt to drive through a tornado warning on those roads. Pull over, get as low as you can, and stay away from water. Monday, I-70 from Wichita to Kansas City sits in the direct path of the strongest daytime supercells, US 56 and US 83 through central Kansas. Two-lane roads with zero shelter in an EF3+ tornado. Avoid them. I-35 from Wichita to Kansas City. Avoid that corridor Monday afternoon and evening if at all possible. I-435 around Kansas City. The squall line arrives after dark Monday night. Plan to be off the road by 9 p.m. Chicago's I-55 and I-294 southbound could face flooding and debris from Monday's squall line. Smoke and dust air. Quality, the threat you can't see coming. The air quality picture this weekend is genuinely concerning, and it's one of those things people don't think about until it hits them. Wildfire smoke from active fires in the Texas Panhandle and Kansas is spreading northeast through Saturday. In Amarillo and Lubbock, the air quality index is already running in the unhealthy range for sensitive groups. If you have asthma, COPD, or any cardiovascular condition, stay indoors with windows closed across the Panhandle today. If you absolutely have to go outside in areas with visible smoke or dust, N95 masks are the recommendation. On the roads, headlights on, windows up, AC set to recirculate so you're not pulling smoky or dusty outside air into the cabin. Slow down. And if visibility drops below a quarter mile, pull completely off the road and turn your lights off. That last part is critical. If you leave your lights on when you're stopped, other drivers will follow those lights thinking you're still moving. That's how multi-car accidents happen in dust storms. No joke. After the storms pass, Sunday and Monday, downed power lines become the next major hazard across Iowa. Do not drive over downed lines. Assume every single line is live until utility crews say otherwise. Flash flooding Monday adds yet another layer. Water across a road always looks shallower than it actually is. Just 6 inches of moving water can knock a person off their feet. 12 inches moves a vehicle. The Missouri River Basin from Kansas City to St. Louis faces the highest flash flooding risk Monday. Turn around. Don't drown. It's not worth it. Ever. Chapter 4. Power outages. Which cities lose power? First, and why Monday's outages could last 72 hours. Power grid operators across Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and Missouri are already moving repair crews into position ahead of this event. That tells you everything about how seriously the infrastructure folks are taking this week. Tonight's 80 mph MCS winds will bring down power lines across Iowa. Widespread outages are expected. The I-80 corridor from Lincoln to Des Moines carries the highest outage risk tonight. Sunday's supercells in eastern Nebraska could knock out power to Grand Island, Kearney, and Fremont, but Monday's squall line sweeping from Wichita to Kansas City to Chicago, that's the biggest single outage event of the entire sequence. Utilities are warning that Monday's outages could last 24 to 72 hours in the hardest-hit areas. Here's your deadline. Charge every device, every portable battery, and every piece of medical equipment before 3 p.m. today. That's it. That's your window. If you rely on home oxygen equipment, a dialysis machine, or refrigerated medication, contact your provider right now about backup plans. Do not wait. Chapter 6. Your Action Checklist. Before 3 p.m. today, here's how to make sure your family isn't caught flat-footed this weekend. Fill a cooler with ice today. Refrigerated medications and at least 2 days of food can stay safe inside. Don't wait until the power's already out. Download offline maps before tonight. GPS navigation requires an internet connection. Offline maps work without any cell signal at all. This is huge when cell towers go down. Keep your car's gas tank above half all weekend. Gas stations cannot pump fuel without electricity. If the power's out for 72 hours, so is your ability to fill up. Get a battery-powered no AA weather radio. This is genuinely the best single investment you can make for a weekend like this. It works without internet, without cell service, without anything except batteries. Get one. Find your nearest community shelter today and drive the route once. Not Sunday morning. Today. Know where you're going before you need to go there in a hurry. And if you end up sheltering in a ditch, lie face down, hands laced over the back of your neck, and stay away from any water. That's your last resort position, Sunday. The day the bullseye moved. Here's something important. The Sunday model run shifted the tornado bullseye east into Iowa since yesterday morning. Des Moines is now inside the direct tornado path Sunday afternoon. That changed. Pay attention to that. Sunday morning. Leftover storms from tonight will still be churning across Nebraska and Iowa, round 1 before round 2 even begins. The slight risk on Sunday stretches from Wisconsin all the way down into Kansas. A giant marginal threat extends from Canada into North Texas. All hazards on the table. The SPC's enhanced risk for Sunday covers 48,593 square miles, with 1.22 million people directly in the orange zone. Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Grand Island, Kearney, Fremont, all inside Sunday's highest threat corridor. Fennell's Cape on Sunday is forecast at 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram. That is an extremely loaded atmosphere. The low-level jet is running at 40 to 50 knots cutting through central Kansas into eastern Nebraska. Sunday tornado fuel, plain and simple. Dew points in the mid-60s across the warm sector, more than enough moisture to power serious supercells. Sunday tornado probability, 15% for the Nebraska and Iowa core zone. I kid you not. Think about Carol, a retired nurse outside Omaha. Sunday is her most dangerous day this entire week. Carol needs her shelter plan locked in before Sunday afternoon, not when the tornado warnings are already going off. By 4 to 5 p.m. Sunday, supercell initiation is expected in eastern Nebraska near the warm front. By 6 to 7 p.m., any supercell that stays organized carries a major tornado threat northwest of Omaha. Tennis ball to softball-sized hail is possible out of the strongest Sunday supercells. Good grief, 2 to 3-inch hail in the Sioux Falls to central Nebraska forecast. There could also be a couple of tornadoes tracking as far east as Des Moines Sunday. Even a storm in central Nebraska around 7 to 8 p.m. could spin up something significant. By 9 to 10 p.m. Sunday, Minneapolis gets smacked hard by damaging winds and embedded tornado potential. After Sunday's supercells grow upscale into a mesoscale cluster, destructive winds spread across southeastern South Dakota, northwestern Iowa, and southwestern Minnesota. Mobile home residents across Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. Off-site shelter needs to be confirmed before noon Sunday. Not Sunday afternoon. Before noon. Think about Margaret, a retired teacher outside Sioux City. Sunday afternoon is her most dangerous window. Margaret has her neighbor's number saved. Her shelter is confirmed. Her alerts are already set loud. That is the standard. That's what being ready actually looks like. Drop your city and state in the comments. Tonight, I come back with your specific breakdown. And if you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and hit the like button. Every share might be the thing that gets someone prepared before the sirens start. Monday, May 18th, the day that has never happened before, all right. Monday. This is the part I need you to really pay attention to, because what I'm about to tell you has genuinely never happened before in the history of the Storm Prediction Center. For the first time ever, The SPC issued a Day 3 Sig 2 tornado risk. Day 3 means they're looking 3 full days out. Sig 2 means their models are indicating EF3 or stronger tornadoes are possible at that range. This has never appeared on a Day 3 outlook. Not once. Ever EF3 plus means winds of 136 mph or higher. That removes entire roof systems from brick buildings in seconds. Not minutes, seconds. Monday's enhanced risk covers 9,640 square miles, the largest footprint of these 3 days. 6.7 million people are directly inside Monday's enhanced risk zone. Kansas City, Omaha, Wichita, Lincoln, Des Moines, all 5 metro areas inside Monday's orange zone. The 30% plus severe probability zone Monday covers 149,390 square miles, with 10.3 million people inside it. The Sig 2 highest intensity ground zero zone, Wichita, Topeka, Salina, Manhattan, Kansas. If you're in one of these cities, Monday is your day to take completely seriously. Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, sitting in the 15% zone Monday. Not a zone to ignore. Machine learning models are flagging Monday Cape near 4,600 joules per kilogram. Locked and loaded. Wind shear at 40 to 60 mph Monday. More than enough for semi-discrete supercells. The upper trough Monday has a negative tilt, the atmospheric signature for maximum severe weather potential. That trough amplifies energy into a developing surface low in western Kansas. Way too dangerous to take lightly. Think about Frank, a rancher near Salina, Kansas. Monday puts him directly inside the Sig 2 zone. Frank's family and animals are in confirmed shelter before Monday morning. That's the only smart play. By early Monday afternoon, supercells could fire over Iowa. By 3 to 4 p.m., storms ignite across the Central Plains near a sharp dry line. If storms stay discrete near that dry line Monday, the risk of intense EF3 plus tornadoes is real, from southeast Minnesota back into central Kansas. That's the primary hail and wind zone. By 7 p.m. Monday, storms continue discrete across the Midwest before starting to cluster near Kansas City. After sunset, Monday storms go widespread from Kansas through Wisconsin with significant damaging winds. Hail could range from 2 to 4 inches, baseball to small grapefruit size. 4-inch hail destroys a vehicle sitting in a driveway. Get your cars under cover before Monday morning. No exceptions.